Hey. Welcome to the Blackout Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod. Joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
And we are live on a Monday, ready to give you a little bit of podcasting.
Yes,
Find us
sir.
everywhere you get podcasts. The official weapon of the show is
The folding chair.
and the unofficial sport.
Football.
And Bullet Ball Extreme. I don't know. I guess we can just get right into it because we don't have much time tonight. I have previous obligations planned. You know, I know some of y'all wanted to know about the Kendrick concert and what it was like and how our time was there. So we probably just talk about that mostly. Let's see. So the best thing to say, I guess, look, it was so ironic. A year ago to like the day, Kendrick clapped back on Drake. Like it was that day. Like,
Oh, it was? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
People been celebrating it. Like
like it's a national
like it's the
holiday.
anniversary, you know. So like that was like a fun thing. Let me make sure I got that exactly right. But I think it was the exact day that I want to say he dropped Euphoria or something like that. Or like Euphoria was August 30th. So, or April 30th was April 30th, and the concert was like April or May 3rd or something like that. So like it was like people was like celebrating it like this is the day the beef officially like got underway. Euphoria. And then of course we all know, you know, the rest of them. We all know what happened after that. The end of Drake as as more than a punchline for a lot of people, basically. But yeah, so I thought, you know, who would have thought a year from now we would be at a concert in Charlotte,
right in Charlotte,
in the stadium. For where the Panthers play and normally lose.
Yes, it's a huge stadium though.
Yeah, like who would have thought that we would be here getting to like actually experience this together? And you know, for those that know, I'm what I would call a Kendrick Lamar day 2 fan.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't say day 1 because I wasn't there for Overly Dedicated, meaning Overly Dedicated was out. And I just had not heard of Kendrick Lamar like that. And then Section 80 dropped.
That's when I entered the fray.
Yeah, and when Section 80 dropped, I was like, who is this guy? I need to know everything about his music. He became
Every time I'm going to yes.
Yeah, he became one of our favorite rappers, like I don't want to say instantly, but definitely like within short work. He became one of my favorite rappers.
Hands down.
So yeah, so this was a long time coming for us. I've never seen him in concert before.
Me either. Yeah,
okay.
This is our first time seeing him in concert. Like, I know he's been to Charlotte before, but he normally comes to the Charlotte Coliseum.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's been a long time since he's been like on tour.
Right.
So that's why I was like, not trying to find. He's one of the people like Beyonce. I was like, okay, I want to go see you before you be like, okay, I'm not touring no more.
And May 3rd is the day he dropped 616 in LA, 616 in LA. So that, you know, that's the day, but Euphoria dropped 3 days before. At any rate, it's Saturday night. We're excited. And you know how we're excited because it'll always hurt my heart to this day. I'll never be able to move on from this, but I'm just going to have to accept it. Naruto.
Yes.
The music from Naruto, the anime, was playing with the orchestra in the Blumenthal Center for Performing Arts.
And I won't see that.
At the same time as the Kendrick Lamar thing. And
I was like, whoever scheduled that just, I don't know. Like,
they probably don't think them Venn diagrams overlap, but bitch, you're looking at them.
Right.
This is the overlap.
I was so hurt. I was like, can't y'all do 2 days?
Right.
But that was literally the only day. I was like, can y'all do
honestly,
like
if they would have
Saturday
did
and
an
Sunday?
afternoon concert and a nighttime concert, I would have went to the afternoon and then went to Kendrick. That's how
That's
much
how
I wanted to be
dedicated.
there.
And they'd be like, we gonna play at 12 and 8. Well, bitch, I'm there at 12 then.
Yeah, but it's all good. So, but that's what I'm saying. That's how hyped we was for Kendrick. It was like, fuck all that.
Yes, and I was hurt because I was looking forward to it, child. I would have loved to see that. So if they get to traveling again or somewhere close, hopefully we get to see him maybe next time. And that day, they had been calling for rain. So I was like, I don't have a poncho. So me and Roderick went to the Dick's Sporting Good. And apparently everybody at the Dick's was heading to the concert.
Yeah, we went and got some ponchos because I just Googled like where to get ponchos in the Dick's Sporting Good, the Bass, whatever place. So we go to Dick's, and first of all, guys, the one we went to, this is a big ass Dick's.
It's huge.
This Dick's is huge. This is one of the most gigantic Dick's I've ever seen. It's like, and the outside, it's like really sturdy architect. This Dick's was hard as hell. Like whenever they erected that Dick's, it's 2 stories. Like
that Dick's is 2 stories.
And the balls in this Dick's, there's so many balls. The balls are huge with these Dick's. Okay, like this Dick's was insane. Okay, the amount of people that was on this Dick's. It was just everybody was on this Dick's. I've never seen it before. Anyway, we go in the Dick's, and like they have the ponchos by the door.
I guess they do. So, somebody's smart ass manager was like, because they was like, we don't want all these people running through our store asking us where the ponchos is. Put them bitches up front.
Did they just do it when it's raining? They just put all of them?
It would not be surprising if they probably pushed them all towards the door.
I don't know. Anyway, so we go in, and they're all by the door, and I just see, like, I'm looking around the signs, and I'm like, wait a minute. Why would everybody be at this bin by the door unless this is probably where the ponchos are? And I especially noticed that it was a lot of black people getting ponchos. And so I was like, yeah, they probably going. And I think I even overheard a couple of them like refer to, going to the concert.
Yeah.
Also, your light is a little bit in front of your camera. Oh, no problem. But no problem. But yeah, they was like talking like, yeah, girl, we're gonna go. We're gonna be out there.
Yeah,
tonight.
girl. Let me be sure I get my clear bag. I know they said something about the dimensions.
Yeah, and they had the thing that was like, this bag is the right size. You can take it in the stadium. Like, they were on it. They knew everybody was going to that goddamn concert. And Dick's was like, we might not be selling a lot of other shit today, but we selling ponchos and clear going to the NFL stadium bags without a gun.
Yeah, and they had all them shits up front. It was like, here the adult size, here's the kid size. And I'm glad we went, because I told Roger I was like, been about an hour, ain't none of all these bitches going to be sold out.
So the concert is supposed to start at 7. I believe that's the start time. But we all know concerts don't really start on time pretty much. But my mom was coming to get us at like 5. She was going to drive us over there or whatever. And it was already starting to rain like bad. We got a thunderstorm warning, lightning strike within 8 miles of the stadium, which means they have to go into some type of inclement weather protocols. So that meant that like they were like shelter in place, or if you're in the stadium already, you have to go inside the like indoors of the stadium to avoid lightning, and they can't declare it off until they go 30 minutes without a lightning strike within 8 miles of the stadium. We're seeing this as we're driving there. It's like, man, I hope everything's gonna go okay. And the sheer amount of people, you knew parking was gonna be crazy. It's gonna be mad expensive, and you were gonna probably have to park pretty far away, which I'm fine parking far away, but it was just gonna probably be like a hassle, whatever. And we were getting a little later start because of the inclement weather, which honestly, guys, that shit wasn't inclement. It was clementing like shit. That shit was very. It was not intermittent showers. Them showers was minting. Okay,
we're getting that later on.
They was minting like two big ass gloves on a kid at Christmas. The way them showers is minting, but.
And so while we was riding, your mama had the idea.
No, I had the idea. Karen does this all the time. She gives my ideas away, or she takes them and then she claims like, I came up with this.
Sorry,
I was getting to it. So I was like, because we're like, the highway's already backed up.
Yeah,
the rain is making shit slow, and so I'm like, we've never done this before, but technically we could take the light rail there. And I'm like, I way I threw the idea out there, it was like, take it or leave it. Like, I'm not forcing the idea, but it's just like, if y'all feel the same, maybe we do like the light rail instead, because I've seen people take it to the Hornets game,
to the Panthers games.
The Panthers games happen. I don't know. I've seen people take it to the Hornets games, and it gets out right at the Hornets Stadium, at the Spectrum Center, and so that's where I got like, oh yeah, that people do this all the time. Apparently with the Panthers, it does not let out right at the stadium. It's like another 12-minute walk or something. Okay. So to me, the idea was, I was like, I don't know where it gets out. I just know it gets out downtown, and we'll have to walk, but could it be that much of a further walk than going to the fucking parking lot?
Right.
So it was like, anyway, we were like, cool, let's give it a shot, and it's a new day to be trying something new, but and it's a day where you don't want anything to go wrong. But we were so early, it was like, we'll probably be fine. So it's raining a little bit, but not cats and dogs anymore. We park, and like, I think we paid I forget how many, $3 or something for the parking. And then the actual train, which I didn't know at the time, no one was buying tickets. They were just getting on the train. Yeah, they apparently don't check it that often, but I bought tickets just in case they checked them, which in hindsight I didn't need to do. But we get on the train, and we ride it downtown, and it's just like a 10-minute. It's a nice smooth ride. Few stops.
Yes.
Get there downtown. Don't have to deal with traffic. It's very smart. I'll definitely try it again during some Hornets games.
Yeah, because we know it goes right at the arena for the Hornets games.
Yeah, yes. I'll definitely try it again. Even if I go to a Panthers game, I might try it again. So we get there. It's not too crowded to going down there and all that stuff, because we're also pretty early. Then we get to the stop or whatever. Start walking towards the place, and I felt like every single person on the street was walking to the concert.
They were. Anybody that was walking, like everybody was walking towards that, like in that direction. Yeah,
I'm ear hustling people behind us. They're making jokes about stuff. This one crew of guys was talking about, you think he's gonna bring Kanye West out? They were obviously joking, but it was very funny to me. It's like, yeah, they're gonna bring out the Nazi lover and all this shit. Those guys had me cracking up. And then and everybody's got ponchos on and all kind. I didn't have my poncho on yet because it wasn't really raining that well.
Yeah, the poncho man was making a killing, because
they had people selling ponchos too, which I'm sure cost more than our Dick's ones.
Oh, they did.
Listen,
probably triple the price.
Okay, because if you're going to Dick's, you want to wear a raincoat. That's what I always say. You don't want to catch nothing.
That dick went free.
Okay, so we walk to the stadium or whatever, and we like had to walk around to like the same. We went to, so they have the south entrance, and then they have this other entrance that's a little further away. But that's how we got into the Beyonce concert, was going to the one that was a little further away.
Because everybody stops at that first one, and it's just ridiculously long lines.
And it's becoming obvious as we're walking, like, to me anyway, I'm like, oh, this bitch sold out. Like, he sold this shit out. This is not gonna be some empty seats or whatever. It's gonna be full. And I'm glad we left early. I'm glad we're gonna get there early or whatever.
Me too. And while we was walking, we seen this couple, and they was dressed as mustard containers. They had like the hood, they had hats that looked like a top of a mustard, and the front of that thing just said mustard. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I actually took a picture of them when we were walking into the stadium.
And it was bright ass yellow.
And I posted it to my social media, like, guess where I'm going. But you guys can see them here holding hands from the back. But yeah, they're wearing the mustard outfits.
Yes, it was fucking hilarious.
Now, where they were keeping their ponchos, I don't know. Maybe the mustard got soaked. Maybe it was watered down mustard by the end. I don't know what happened with them. But yeah, it was, so like we get in there, whatever. And it was, I will say this, it wasn't necessarily like Beyonce where everybody was dressed in like their silver and their cowboys, and all the women had on like they like outfits that was like, you gonna get these titties, you gonna get this ass. Because I think SZA and Kendrick, while they're dope and lots of people were coming out to see them, I think the Beyonce Renaissance energy was completely different
It
energy.
was.
You know, it was, but it was so fun. It was, you know, all kinds of, it was like, that was a dope night, just even walking to the arena, the stadium.
Yes, everybody was glowing and shit. Cowboy hats was blinking. I was like, I didn't know they could blink.
Yeah. And so, we, you know, you see people with tour merch and stuff, but it's just not the same. And a couple people dressed as like Mustard or something like that. Anyway, so we get in after, you know, go through the line and shit, which was organized enough, you know.
Some people had to throw their umbrellas away. I was like, I hope they don't got them umbrellas, because I was like, you can't have them. I already knew that. And I told your mama, I said, I buy your poncho, baby, because you can't bring no umbrella.
Shout out to, I guess, the anxiety or whatever, but I can't even imagine freestyling a concert like the way people was doing. Like, I can't imagine not looking up like what I can bring in with me.
Right.
Like having to throw your fucking purse away, because that's the thing. When it's getting close to showtime and you've waited already through the line, they don't tell you to start throwing shit out till there's like maybe another 10 to 20 minutes left of you waiting in the line. And if you got to go to the back, you go to the back. And the lines get longer as it gets closer to showtime.
Yes, it does.
And so I saw people throwing away umbrellas, which, I mean, this is a decision you got to make. I saw one woman was talking out loud. She was like, yeah, I got to, yeah, girl, they want me to throw away this umbrella. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm like, you don't know what you're gonna do.
You gonna throw that umbrella away?
These tickets expensive. That umbrella, you can buy another umbrella.
You sure can.
Stash it somewhere and hope it stay on the way out. I don't know what to tell you, dog. Like, but
check them website. And I was telling your mom, I was joking about it, but I was serious. I said, yeah. I said, because folks get drunk up in them arenas and they probably use them bitches as weapons. So they was like, no umbrellas.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I mean,
That's
I think a lot of this
stuff.
Story. Yeah, I think a lot of this stuff is just 9/11 and fear, and of course, obviously the ever-present fear of guns in America, because we don't regulate them really.
Right.
So we have to over-regulate shit like this, you know.
Yes.
At any rate, we get in or whatever, and it's kind of interesting because like. When you get in, they actually hand you like physical tickets, which is, they did the same thing at the Tyler concert.
I think
so. I guess that's a new thing. Is like, since everybody's ticket is digital, then they hand you a paper ticket that doesn't have a barcode or anything on it. But it is funny because it feels like, well, weren't we doing the phone thing to avoid the paper thing? But I guess we're throwing away we're killing thousands of trees anyway. Fuck it.
Yeah, there's like, here you go to the website and buy shit.
Yeah, so we get in and you know, make it up to our area. We was in the 300s, which is like which was, you know, was that the same area we did Beyonce? Yeah, so the 300s, like it goes up to 500. Like, so we was in the 300. We found an escalator. Found an escalator this time. That was dope.
Yeah, last time we
walked the ramp.
Yeah, that ramp was a beast.
Yeah, that ramp, and that ramp, for some reason, feel like you're not going up as high as that ramp need to take you, but whatever. We get up there. We eventually get ready to find our seats. So my mom bought us some snacks, and then we go sit outside at our thing. And I was so happy because I bought these tickets. Yeah, and I bought an aisle seat for myself, because almost every other time, if someone else buys tickets for me or whatever in a group, people just buy tickets and they buy them wherever they can get them or whatever.
Right.
And it's, hey, 3 together. But I'll sacrifice to be like, hey, let me find the one with the aisle. If that means I'm 2 rows ahead or 2 rows back, fine.
Right. Give you more space.
And I dug the aisle seat, even though it was funny because the aisle seat was number 3 instead of number 1. And I was looking at the tickets like, did I fuck up? I remember buying aisle seats. And then we got there. I was like, oh, apparently it started 3. Who gives a fuck? But yeah, so we get the seats or whatever, and you know, we're sitting out there, everybody's, you know, hype. Now, this is what's funny, because the people that got there on time, like us, even a little bit early, 7 o'clock hits. Now, anyone that goes to concerts knows it's not starting at 7. Why the fuck would it start at 7? Nothing ever starts at the time it's supposed to start for huge audiences. Now, if you go to the Blackout Tip event, we starting on time. I'm just going to tell you right now. But for people that like coming in, like they go to concerts a lot, they know you can come in, you know, sometimes up to an hour, but I'd say 30 minutes late and be just absolutely fine. Dog, everybody behind was like, they need to hurry up and start this shit. It's 7:01. Okay, now it's 7:02. What's going on, Kendrick? I'm like, damn, y'all. 90% of the arena is outside in line.
Not. I'm not gonna lie. We went to the Tyler the Creator concert, and I believe because it was at the Spectrum Center. When that bitch hit 8 o'clock, it was like boom, 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 boom. I was like, oh, they are not bullshitting. They was like, we gonna have y'all asses out of here by 10:30.
Yeah, I think that one did start on time, but also it started at 8, I think. And the laws for working with the unions and shit is kind of wild, but that one did start on time. And he had 2 opening acts. As far as we knew on the billing on the ticket, it was just SZA and Kendrick.
Yes.
So that's the reason I thought what they were saying was ridiculous. Because
yes.
I'm like, y'all expecting Kendrick to come out to a 40% full arena, start performing the first part of his concert and not get booed 30 minutes later when it's full.
Right.
When everybody's like, what the fuck? I missed the beginning of the concert. So
right. They'd have been upset.
Anyway, they don't actually start anything till like 7:30.
It was about 7:15 to about 7:45.
Well, I was gonna say I thought okay, whatever the exact time is, I'm wrong. I'll take that. But they don't start at 7 is my point. And when they do start, it's actually DJ Mustard that comes out, and he did like a 30-minute set of just like music, and it was funny. Some of it's here, some of it's not, but he was playing a bunch of stuff that people knew, a bunch of stuff that I'm sure people didn't know, but it was only about 15 to 30 seconds of each song. It just like every song, like it was just the hottest part of each song, and like if you knew it, you would get your life, and then the second, if you didn't know it, wait 30 seconds. Something else will be on that you do know.
I was having the ball. I'm like, shit, don't make me tired for the concert start, sir.
Yeah, it got crunk in there. It was like, move, bitch, get out the way.
And it was like basically the people that was there early kind of got rewarded by having like a prompt. I mean, because he was probably the opener, but kind of like almost like a prompt show before the show.
Yeah, it was fun. Like he was actually one of the highlights of the show. Honestly, was because I wasn't expecting anything. I just figured they'd do some type of countdown or something. I figured they'd do something, but I didn't see an opener on the ticket. Having him come out there was actually really dope. And then he was just spinning music. He was talking into the mic a little bit, and then he's like it had certain segments and sections. Like there was one for the haters, and he played like Big Sean's "I Don't Fuck With You" and stuff like that. And it's like, if you got a hater, da 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 da, you know how DJs do.
Yes.
For all the ladies, I need y'all to do this. But yeah, so he played a bunch of dope ass like music from old and new. I'd say I knew like 90%
of the songs. Yeah.
Yeah, like 90% of it. And man, it was that shit was super dope. Then they like have a maybe 2 to 3 minute like he leaves the stage. I mean, literally 2 to 3 minutes, like not 20, not 10 long. Minutes. Literally, he leaves the stage, like lights go down a little bit, and then bam, the opening part of Whacked Out Murals with the Spanish speaking woman, that shit starts. Yeah.
So if you was still outside, they was like, And also, I think the biggest reason why I don't think it started at 7.
Well, I know it didn't. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
This is my theory, because when we first got there, they was actually scraping the rain off of the stage. I was like, I bet you if they hadn't had to like scrape the rain and shit, kind of off.
It might have started a little earlier.
I think they would have. I think that's what delayed it.
Kendrick alluded to it a few times during the show, like how you ain't gonna let rain stop us and all this other shit. Meanwhile, the whole time I'm thinking like, if it strike lightning 8 miles within the stadium, it ain't gonna matter what the fuck you talking about. But my mom said on the way, she was like, I think the rain is gonna make people more hype, and it did. It's like the fact that people braved that rain together to be out there and at the concert together, people was on 10 immediately. So yeah, man, like lights go down or whatever, some cursive writing comes on the screen. Siento, the song, the Siento aquí tu presencia, la noche de anoche, y nos ponemos de la. Everybody's like, then the fucking the GNX, the Grand National rises from underneath the stage. Kendrick's in it, but you can't really see him yet. But like you can see him on the camera when they zoom in. But from where we're sitting, like it's like the car's on stage. He's in there. But the thing is, dog, no backing track, No fucking vocals other than, you know, like the what's on the instrumental. He rapping it, you know, and you could tell it's him saying it live. Like it's, and I know it seemed like a little thing, but dog, when you watch so many of these rappers and go to concerts, it's not a little thing. A lot of times they basically are just playing a track and just mouthing a couple words over it.
Yeah.
And I know I said that when he did the Super Bowl performance, and I've always talked about how he's such a consummate performer. Mm-hmm. He's in such amazing shape to be able to do what he does. I don't think you can take it for granted. It's just you shouldn't. But man, seeing him do it live and hearing like his voice that he's doing, it was just like, okay, it's about to be one of those nights, you know.
They had the big screens and everything, and they had fireworks. You could feel that damn heat.
Yeah, even outside.
Yes.
You know? But yeah, you know that yesterday somebody whacked out my murals and then just bam that. So he does that song, and then he starts getting out of the car. And you know, Charlotte, you know, he said, Carolina, what's up? I found out later this is a big thing in Charlotte, apparently, like the newspaper cover people was talking about on Twitter. People thought he said Atlanta, what's up? He said Carolina.
Don't remember.
I do remember.
Okay.
He said Carolina. He said it several times. He said it when they left too. He said Carolina. But apparently people thought he said Atlanta. They thought he was, and so the Charlotte Observer had written a whole thing where I read it this morning where they were doing a recap of the concert, and the author said they had to change it because they were going to say, like, scold him for saying Atlanta, like, you don't know you're in Charlotte, da 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 da. And I'm like, I was there. He didn't say Atlanta. I would have noticed if he said Atlanta. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
the mic was live. It was crystal clear.
Yeah, the
whole fucking arena would have said, like, what the fuck?
Would have responded to that, yes.
Yeah, and so I'm like, I know he said Carolina. He didn't say Charlotte. He said Carolina multiple times. Even, I'll see y'all next time, Carolina. I remember at the end. Anyway, these motherfuckers were so insecure. I guess they was, because we do have an insecurity complex about Atlanta, okay, in Charlotte. We're everybody think, you know, why everybody got to compare us to Atlanta? Atlanta's bigger, better. Like, it's not a problem. The music scene is crazy. Like, where the insecurity comes from, I don't give a fuck.
Me either.
Anyway, the motherfucker said Carolina. Gets out. He did whacked out murals, and he's like giving you, you know, I'm on the top of the car. I'm getting, you know, and like it's such a showman because like he's rapping a verse and then like stars leaning up in the seat. Skill rapping, stars looking out the window towards the camera and stuff for the stage. Still rapping, opens up the door. Still rapping, gets out. Still rapping, gets on the hood. Still rapping. like, and then we got Squabbled Up. You know, and everybody's going crazy. Like this one thing about this album, so many people have become Kendrick fans because of this album, but also those of us that have been fans for a long time, this is most simplest album and most catchy album.
Yes.
So like, there's a lot of anthems on this fucking album.
Yeah, compared to the previous ones. Yes.
Yeah. So like, Squabble Up, it's like everybody knows the choruses are all simple. Everybody knows the words. The concepts are mostly simple. So like, he did Squabble Up, and everybody's going crazy because Squabble Up is like 2:38, you know, it's a short song. The thing is with Whacked Out Murals, he still did like the whole fucking song. He did the whole song. Like, he wasn't doing a lot of just one verse unless it was something old.
Yes.
So then he does Squabble Up, then he did King Kunta, and he's going, you know, giving you the whole run of the stage, and the stage has this thing where
almost like it loops around.
Yeah, it loops around. There's a pit in the middle where people are dancing, like the super VIPs are staying the whole time. And on the wings, there's like two other little side stages and shit. So like, he's using the entire stage the whole time. Once again, running around, doing it, rapping on every single word. No dubbing, no backing. Not even like extra people on stage that are saying the words for him, which a lot of rappers do. It's just like him and then the dancers and stuff. Then he did Element, which is one of my personal favorites, like a verse off of that. Then he did something that was cool. He did the first half of TV Off.
Yes.
So I don't know if you noticed this too, but he did the first half. He stops before you get the mustard. and all that shit. Because TV Off changes halfway through for those of y'all that are big fans. So, and I mean, it's hitting. Obviously, it's TV Off. I mean, it's not, it's but like, with you kind of end up feeling like you're waiting on that, like, Master. And in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, it's too early for TV Off. You like 5 songs in.
Right? We got a whole ass concert, sir.
Like, what the fuck you gonna do after this or whatever? Like, that's kind of I feel like you doing a lot right now, and you got to slow it down. We hype as fuck right now, but I mean, unless this concert is ending in like 20 minutes after this, there's no fucking way that you're doing TV Off right now. So he stops TV Off like halfway through, and that's when SZA basically comes out. Like, the music starts playing. They do 30 for 30, which made me realize that I think this SOS Deluxe album she put out, which does have a bunch of new tracks, but some old stuff on there too. I'm like, I should have known they was going on tour together when the Deluxe dropped, because it feels like a reason to do a tour. Like, because she already got, of any artist, the most collaborations with Kendrick Lamar. So if anyone can do a tour with Kendrick, it's her, because she can come on stage and do the transitions where, like, hey, this is our song together. Now it's my turn to do my songs. Right. And she has, like, I forget how many collabs, but enough to do it. Yeah. So they do 30 for 30. And then she goes in the songs off of Control, which I know Control backwards and forward. I don't know SOS like that. I know Control backwards and fucking forwards. So we got Love Galore, Broken Clocks, and Weekend.
And I was like, I recognize more of SZA's songs than I realized. I was like, oh, I know all these songs.
I have to say too, SZA, I wasn't familiar with your game. Like, game, recognized game and all that, but forgive me, I was not familiar with your game. I didn't know she sing like that. And there's no offense to her, it's my fault, it's not her fault. I was not checking her live performances. I would just be like, oh, I like this album, and I listen to the album, and in my mind, whether it's a studio singer or a singer, once I got the album, it don't matter to me. I'm not seeing them live, more than likely. Right. But she also, and I would imagine, Kendrick wouldn't even tour with somebody that didn't have the ability to do this tour like this. Right. She was on mic singing that shit. It was not her singing to the backing track. It wasn't letting the track do the work for her. There's obviously, it's different with R&B, so like there is more vocals on her tracks, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't her just lip syncing to a bunch of hits. And you could hear it, you could hear her like hitting certain notes, doing certain runs and all that stuff. I thought she did a good job on all that. And then the second part, I wasn't familiar with her game. That woman is fine. Okay?
Ain't she beautiful?
Thick thighs save lives. She was saving lives up in there.
She is absolutely good. Because I knew she was pretty. Yeah. But it was nothing like seeing her. I was like, oh, she is.
I mean, I knew she beautiful. I knew she was fine. I've been watching. I watched One of Them Days and all that stuff, but it hit different in person. And the thighs was dying. They was out there. When she was straddling that ant, I was like, oh my God.
She was like, you gonna get this fupa.
And the thing is, I sat down for most, I feel like the arena was sitting down a lot of times, because like R&B energy is different than rap energy.
Yes, it is.
So like when she had upbeat songs, people would stand up. But like a lot of times when she's singing like The Weeknd, like you can sit down and take that in. But yeah, man, she was so good. I really and like I said, the stuff that I knew, it was like, oh my God, yes. Now once she got into some other stuff, it was more like I sat down to appreciate it because I didn't know all the words.
Right, and this the same here. Yeah.
Also, singing along different than rapping along, because I feel like singing along and you can't sing is like you're ruining the concert for people around you. Rapping along, just say the words, it's fine. We all got different voices. Then Kendrick comes back with Euphoria, and y'all, this my one. Okay, I know y'all is not like us people. I get it. TV Off, that's for you. To me, Euphoria is my favorite song of the beef. All the songs are great. All that stuff Kendrick did is great. I'm not like, I get it. Everybody won't be different. Oh, you're a 616 nigga. Oh, it was when he said Meet the Grounds. I understand that's the coldest track. I hear you. Euphoria is the one for me. Okay? It's like he made that song with me in mind. I rapped every word. He did the whole 6 minutes and 24 seconds.
Yes, he did. The entirety of that song.
Oh my God. I'm so thankful for that. Because that shit was hitting.
Especially in that big ass arena.
Oh, like soon as he came out, back on the stage, because they kept coming from underneath the stage, and it's like, them superpowers been neutralized. I was like, oh, here we go. I'm standing back up. I know them people thought I'm sure I was on somebody's fucking nerves, because like the people in front of us, there was a lot of what I would call casual fans, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but just I get it. You're not a day one Kendrick fan, day two Kendrick fan. This is the event. Once you fill up an arena, it's an event. Yeah. Like that means people are like, I am going to go to this thing not knowing necessarily.
Agreed.
Like it's like going to an MCU film. You didn't have to read comic books at this point to go to MCU films. So motherfuckers are just showing up to be like, Kendrick Lamar, big name, big year, concert in my city, I gotta go.
Yes.
So there were people around us that I could tell they had not spent hours upon hours upon hours upon hours upon hours upon hours rapping along to Euphoria. Not just listening to it, saying all the words. They weren't in their car saying, what is the braids for 900
Come
times
on, what
straight.
is it, the braids?
They wasn't doing that. Might have been a me thing. You see what I'm saying? This is my song.
That's your jam.
I don't know that everybody else is able to do this. Okay, I don't know that everybody else is constantly thinking. When I look at you, I know you see two bad bitches when you look at you and yourself and Sexy Red. Like everybody not thinking that all the time. Everybody not being like and teaching to pray. Everybody not to stop. So I finally got this thing. I honestly would have paid the full price for the tickets. He could have just did this one song one time, and I would have been like, "Thank you, Kendrick. We can go home now." But this is once again early in the concert. He does Euphoria, and I mean all around the stage, everything. I think also what this was really good for was there's certain songs he's done in the past that if you didn't know at the time they were about Drake, now you do know. So like there's lyrics you can never unhear when you hear like King Kunta now. It's like, oh, I think this shit was about Drake. Cause like I think the line he ended it on was like, but a rapper with a ghostwriter, what the fuck happened? It's like, oh wait, that's about Drake. That's about Drake. Wait a minute. Hold up. And that's how I was during the beef. I was revisiting all these old tracks, and there were so many tracks. So I was like, that was about Drake. That was about Drake. I thought it could have been about Drake, but I thought I was tripping. I didn't know they was beefing, so I 100% thought I was tripping back in the day when I'm like, rapper with a ghostwriter. Nah, why would he take a shot at Drake? Didn't they do that song together? Nah, I'm probably tripping. But yeah, bitch, all my grandma's dead, so ain't nobody praying for me. I'm on your head. I'm like, interesting. All right, so he does Euphoria, amazing. Then he does Humble, which is always a bop.
Always a bop.
And I do have to note, guys, because Twitter would have you not believe this, but apparently, show me something natural like Afro and Richard Pryor. Show me something natural like ass with some stretch marks. Still will take you down while you're on your mama's couch with polo socks.
Hey.
That not just hits. Every motherfucking body in the arena loves that line.
Yes, they do.
I was told this was the most controversial, horrible, misogynistic thing to ever say. But apparently, that's just a certain segment of Twitter that was trying to fuck with Kendrick at the time, because that shit hit. Everybody was like, this my part. I thought it was just me. I was looking around. Everybody that's their part. Then we get Hey Now. Which, dope. And then he didn't take the features off. So like when other people was rapping, it's like he would either like dance or he would like, let that part go and then pop in for his part. Which was dope because, I kept thinking, how's he gonna perform? He has some features on GNX that I'm like, I wonder how he's gonna perform these. And sometimes he would even have like either on the screen behind him, the person that did the feature and stuff.
Right.
That's what Tyler did with Doechii on his album, his concert. Then Reincarnated. Backseat Freestyle. Y'all, do you know how many times I've rapped Backseat Freestyle in my car or just somewhere? All my life I want money and power, respect my mind or die from lead shower. I pray my dick get big as the Eiffel Tower so I can fuck the world for 72 hours. Goddamn, I feel amazing. Damn, I'm in the matrix. My mind is on cloud nine. Listen.
Hey, vroom vroom.
I'm racing.
Child, I was getting my life.
Oh my God. It is like I said, I know I was annoying, y'all. I know all the words to all this shit.
Child, I was
annoying.
rapping out loud. I didn't give a damn.
I was like, fuck it. We
Bitch,
all
we
Kendrick.
outside.
We all Kendrick. Okay, don't get thrown over this balcony. We not stopping nothing tonight. Then he did his verse on Family Ties, which is another banger. You know, to me, that's really the one that I was like, Kendrick sound like he ready for a beef. Smoking on top fives. Motherfuck that album, fuck that single, burn that hard drive, burn that bitch. Like I was like, hey, he is going extra hard on this verse, like he wants somebody to say something. Then he did a second of Swimming Pools, and it was a cappella because he was like, you know, some of y'all go back with me. Do y'all remember this? And it was like Swimming Pools. But he just did the lines like, "Now I grew up every day life in bottles," and everybody was like, "Oh yeah," you know, rapping along with him. I was in that dark room, like, you know, that thing. Then he did Mad City, his verse from that, you know, brace yourself, I'll take you down a trip down memory lane. This is not a rap about that shit. Then he did All Right. Dog, he's doing All Right. We're not halfway through this shit. It's All Right's a Negro spiritual.
Yeah, it is.
It's insane in there. How crazy, like how much.
The crowd, yeah.
Yes. When you know, with like all this stuff,
We've
you got
been up and down for sure.
He got dancers and shit, but it's like it's all just pure his power or whatever. And then he did Man at the Garden. And I think SZA came back out at the Man at the Garden, you know, after I Deserve It All or whatever. He comes down, she comes up. And then she did Scorsese Baby Daddy, F to F, Garden, that's Say It Like That, which I know from Control, Kitchen, Blind, Forgiveness, and Low. And then she did Doves in the Wind from Control, which Kendrick is on.
Yeah, so he comes back.
So, you know, that's that rap about pussy. Pussy can be so facetious, the heavyweight champ, but you're so undefeated. Can we amen to that? So, like, he does that verse from Doves in the Wind. Then they did All the Stars, and everybody, without them saying it, everybody just knew, including myself. You pull your phone out, put that flashlight on.
It was pretty in there.
And like everybody's phone was out for All the Stars. And you like, as soon as the beat started dropping, I know I was fumbling for my phone, like, oh, I gotta be part of this. And so
I won't be left out.
We was putting our phones up. You know, I think I haven't recorded a little bit, but we were putting our phones up, and they did, of course, All the Stars, which what a beautiful song. Then he did Love. Then, which is that, you know, Love or Lust, give me your money, you know, feeling lovely, that joint. So it's kind of like with the vibes of SZA, like this was a more vibey part of the concert.
Yes, it was
very, you know, chill, laid back. Did Dodger Blue, he did Peekaboo, he did his verse from Like That,
yes,
he did DNA. He did his verse from Good Credit, but I don't like Playboy Cardi. I just don't. I'm sorry. I tried. I listened to the whole album. Even for Kendrick, I can't. Not
your vibe.
That album is that. I don't think I'm a Playboy Cardi fan. No offense to that dude, man. I like. I'm not wishing no ill will on him, and I gave it a legitimate shot. I just couldn't do it, dog. So this is the verse that I don't know as well. Not just because it's new, but because honest to God, you have to listen to like 2 minutes of Cardi to get to Kendrick, and I'd be like, a minute in, like, I'm gonna change to something else every time I'm in the gym. Then he did Count Me Out, which is one of my favorite songs. Honestly, this really made me reticent that I didn't go to the Mr. Morale Big Steppers tour, because I really
he did a few years ago.
That honest, I know that people don't agree, but this ain't about y'all. This is why we have a podcast and you don't. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers to me is the one. That's the album where I'm like, where I know it's not everyone's favorite. I'm not saying that you have to call it his best or the most vibey. That's the one that felt the most like, this is a genius doing genius work that people don't understand. And part of genius is getting people to understand it, I'm sure, but it's the one that went over people's heads. But to me, I'm like, this dude was ahead of where we need to be. So anyway, he did Count Me Out. I'm excited. Money Trees, Poetic Justice, and I can't remember if this is where he did
that Anita Baker melody.
Listen, he did an interpolation with Anita Baker.
It was beautiful.
Sweet Love. And I don't remember where he did it at, but I feel like it was somewhere around here.
It was. I don't remember the order, but yes.
It was so
when he like blended like 2 or 3 songs.
It was
like
so beautiful.
Anita Baker. It's like if you knew the words, you could go along, but it was really slowed down.
Yes. It was like the way he did that. I like that's rap. Cause like he was giving credit. He was giving credit obviously to the original. But I know what it was. It was Mad City, and it was Mad City and Sweet Love at the same time.
Yeah, because it was like a blending. I was like, this is a blending of songs. Because
like when you think about, that song is, it's very upbeat, Brace yourself, I'll take you down a trip down memory lane. This is not a rap on how I'm slinging crack or move cocaine. This is, So you thinking like that, I hear yuck, 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 yuck. But once you throw in that Sweet Love, it's got to be on the internet. Okay, someone put it on Instagram. I got to let y'all hear this. I'm sorry. But like obviously you see the full thing. It's hitting different.
Ugly waving your hand out the window. Furious and commands of furious distortion in society. Travesty, first from talking to the light skin nigga with his baseball now.
It was so good. It was so good, man. It just made me feel like that's hip hop. That's hip hop. And it love him giving credit to Anita. And Anita's been really like cool about it, like because I know some of the old school R&B people get real precious about rap and people using their stuff, and so like to see a reciprocal relationship where I'm sure there was people that got put on Anita Baker from this that were like sweet, because in the background it just said Sweet Love Anita Baker. It don't say Mad City, Kendrick Lamar, anything. So that interpolation was amazing, and they just lived in it for a while. And like I said, back to all the other songs. Then SZA comes back, and gives us, what was it? And this was when she did a little bit longer set. And once again, it was more laid back and chill.
Yeah.
So it's, let's see, Diamond Boy, Shirt, Sin City, Kill Bill, Snooze, and once again, I didn't know all these songs because like I said, I did miss out on some. Cry Baby, and some of them were newer, and I really missed the wave on the new. I didn't even understand it was a new album. I didn't realize till like a month or two out from the concert, I was like, wait, the SOS Deluxe got 38 songs.
Right, okay.
This is an album. This is a new album. Like it was. I thought it was just like remixes and a couple extra. No, nigga, this is a bunch of shit you ain't heard. So I had not memorized any of this. Saturn, Good Days, and then there's like a big dance set where they were playing different songs. And her and her dancers was getting twerking to that shit.
And she was getting, and she had a bunch of outfit changes.
Yeah, she was like going down that elevator, coming back up in complete different outfits.
Yeah, I told your mama, I said, I think she had the NBA pants, the pop-off pants, because they would literally, she would go down and like a minute later she'd be back. I was like, how the fuck y'all get that clothes off that quick?
She was wearing like jogging pants and stuff too, which is another thing I like about her style. And then she could have had that stuff on under there or whatever, but then she comes off stage and comes back and it's like booty shorts and you like, okay, let's go. Okay. And she was twerking. Like she was twerking. Like it wasn't like It wasn't an illusion. Okay, she was thanking them things.
Yes,
okay?
she was.
The dancers was thanking them too. And I did notice that Kendrick had a lot more male dancers than women dancers, and vice versa for her. But I also thought it was partially because of how they had them dancing. They switched them up sometimes. Like you'd see, like there was a song where the women dancers kind of went around after Kendrick and stuff, and I'm sure they were probably SZA's dancers. But anyway, so then they do all that. She does BMF Kiss Me More, which is a Doja Cat song with her on it. Better, and then TV Off, and that's where he finishes TV Off. That's where he come back with that mustard. Like, I was like, this nigga's so good. How did he know to make it two halves like that? Because remember earlier I was like, oh, is he blowing this load early? You can't do TV Off here. He didn't. He did just half of it. But the part everybody go crazy about, that's the one he did the second half. And that's when I was like, oh, we must be entering into the end of the concert.
Yes.
Because when you bust out that mustard, nigga, it's a wrap for whatever else was happening. You know? So yeah, it was, he came, he did the whole mustard TV Off part, and then after he does TV Off, we get Not Like Us.
Yeah, and that was literally the highlight of the concert. Like the whole stadium was, the whole stadium had been hyped the whole time for Kendrick, but I think for a lot of people that was literally the song they was waiting to hear.
Let me tell y'all something, dog. That motherfucking Not Like Us,
The arena was rocking.
I ain't never seen no shit like that. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. It had to be 99% of people that knew every fucking word. It was crazy. I don't care what they look like. I mean, I'm looking at interracial couples to see if they get to say the N-word or not. Like, I was locked in.
Yeah, I didn't care. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like,
locked in.
They not like us. They not like.
Some of these might be jokes. I was locked in that tight, guys. Okay, I'm like observing. They went fucking crazy for Not Like Us. I mean, it's way past the pop out, and the song is, we've heard it a million times. So I'm glad they didn't try to do like 8 times in a row, like the pop out or something.
Right.
But when I tell you every fucking word, and like the dance they was giving us the dance. Same thing at the Super Bowl with the peekaboo thing. They did that thing. He's playing to the camera. He's playing to the crowd. And he's such a consummate professional. He just gives us Not Like Us. Like, it's not a bunch of like teasing and like, like a wrestler or whatever. Now, this is the part that was weird. Not Like Us happened. I know there's more to go because to me, I'm like, he ain't did Luther. Him and SZA do Luther together. So you got to have her back on stage for that.
Right.
And like, I'm sure SZA needed a rest because the last time she performed, she was like flying around the fucking crowd in butterfly wings. That
Up
girl,
in the air.
She must love nature because this
everything was bugs,
praying mantises,
grass.
Ants. Listen, the way she straddled them that ant, I wish I had
that big ass ant.
I wish I had 6 or 8 legs. How many legs they got?
That ant was huge.
Oh my Lord, she was on that ant, dog. Okay, she was. Okay, I see you, sis. But so she comes back out and they do Luther. But what I'm saying is, I don't think I'm exaggerating, but maybe it's bigger in my head than it was.
It wouldn't.
I want to say 15 to 20% of people started leaving after Not Like Us.
I think for a lot of people, they was like, that's the song I wanted to hear. And literally after that, all of a sudden, you seen like a mad rush of people just leaving.
I felt, okay, there was a couple ways I felt about this. I'll start with the funny one, and then I'll start with the crazy one. Then I'll go with the crazy one. The funny one is this. I felt like when I be at a Marvel movie and niggas start leaving during the credits.
Yes.
And you be like, motherfucker, you ain't never been out the house? It's obviously about to be a couple more scenes. This is, we're 20 movies in.
Right.
Everyone's places. Sit back down. What are we doing? This is not the end of the fucking concert. They didn't even say goodbye.
Right. They didn't even say goodbye.
They always thank the city, motherfucker. Get your ass back to your seat. That's what I was thinking. That was my first thought. then my second thought was the crazier thought, and I didn't mean to take it there, but I was like, white people do not respect our art. This what Sinners was talking about. Sit your ass down.
Right.
This what happened when you not from the culture. They wouldn't leave like this without speaking. Mm-mm. Do you think it's over, or do you just not care about his actual work?
Right.
When he does Luther and Gloria being the story of his pen from his perspective as a lover, you just leaving because you don't love us. You not like us. Get the fuck out. That was the crazy part. Okay, I didn't say any of this out loud at the time. But yeah, I'd say 15 to 20% of people started leaving. Mm-hmm. That was insane to me. Then they do Gloria, which then they did Luther, which is another banger. Now they do have like about a minute to 2 minutes between between Not Like Us ending and Luther starting. There's about a minute or two where it's kind of quiet.
Yes, and I think some people were like, oh.
They thought it was over.
Yeah, I think a small percentage of that people's like,
maybe
what's happening?
So then Luther happens, and I saw a couple people turn around, come back, or stand in the doorway.
Right, because
it's also that thing where once you start the leaving process, most people do not turn around. So it's like, well, I'm already leaving. I'm like, so you gonna miss extra concert, you dummy? Anyway, they do Luther, then they do Gloria, then and at the end of Gloria, he like walks her to the car. She gets in on the passenger seat. He thanks, Carolina, da 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 da. Then, like I said, he had referenced how the rain didn't stop us and all that stuff. Then he gets in the car, and then it goes back down. That's the end of the show. And then we walk to the train, and guys,
man,
that line was so long to get back.
And people act like there was never gonna be another train again.
People smushed up in there like sardines, and we was like, you know what? Nah, we can wait. And what's funny is because there's always a black woman like this. There was a black woman that was like, and like her, my mom, and Karen started syncing up or whatever, as black women tend to do sometimes. And she was like, and Karen's like, I know I'm not going to know all the people. My mom's like, me neither. And then the one was like, because COVID is still a thing. So I was like, oh, this is getting spiritual up in here. It's about to be some amens or hallelujah.
Yeah, and it got so bad the people, the announcer, the conductor would make an announcement, but like, hey y'all, it's another train. Back up so I can shut the doors.
They couldn't even shut the door. They're like, another train is coming. Calm down. Like literally standing room only. And so we decided to like walk to maybe try to get something to eat.
We tried.
Guys,
the monsoon came.
This is a shit show in every way. First of all, the Apple Maps was listing restaurants, but some of the restaurants was like hotel restaurants, meaning if you couldn't get in the hotel, you couldn't eat the fucking restaurant.
Right.
Because these are downtown hotels, and you need a card to even get in the fucking front door. Also, in Charlotte, everything's not open that late, so like a lot of stuff was either closed. It would give us locations to shit where I'm like, is this just the cafeteria for Apple, like the corporation? How the fuck do you get here?
Yes.
Like, it's like, make a right. I'm like, that's not a place you can make a right into, because I'm looking at a parking lot.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
There's not a restaurant in this parking lot. This circle need to go somewhere else.
It was off. It was driving us nuts, y'all.
And we're just walking different directions, and we're trying, we're all upbeat and like, if I have to be with people, I'd rather be with my mom and Karen, because it's, nobody was losing their cool.
Oh, it was cracking jokes the whole time. Yeah. Yes.
And then, guys, the fucking Noah flood started. That the one that we had hoped wouldn't happen during the event said, all right, I got you. You said not during the event. Well, it was after the event.
Well, bitch, I felt like I was swimming.
My shoes were so wet, guys.
I was so
My socks was leaking. It was so bad. Like, we got underneath a bridge or whatever, and I just gave up. I was like, listen, I'll call an Uber. I don't give a fuck. I know it's a $90 million car. I don't care. They can come get us and drive us to the house or drive us to the car. I have to get out of the rain. Sick of this shit. It's almost midnight. I'm hungry. There's no food that will serve us.
We was trying to get the food, and Apple Maps was like, not you and not today.
Yeah, and so we, the Uber, I tried to do that. Uber didn't come. It was like, for this, it was like, cars 8 minutes away. I was like, okay, cool. Then it was like, we'll let you know as soon as someone did it. 10 minutes later, Yeah, nobody. Then one time it locked. It was like, hey, here's a car. It's 30 minutes away. I said, 30 minutes? What? And it's like, oh, he just canceled. We're looking for a car. I said, fuck it. Let's just walk back to the train station. So we walked back to the train station.
And when we did, it was crystal clear. Everybody had got their asses out of there.
Everybody was gone.
I was like, good.
We could have just stayed there another 20, 30 minutes. We would have been home. But we get there, and the trains were not empty, but they weren't as crowded. We got seats on the next train. And we took the train back, got to the car, and my mom drove us home. And
the thing is, the wild thing about the rain, y'all, the rain would be in spurts.
Yeah.
Because, like, when we got up on that bridge, it was pouring down and it broke.
Yeah.
Long enough for us to get to the thing and get back to the park. And once we got off the train to walk to the car,
again.
It was like it was going like in 10 to 15 minute spurts.
It was intermittent. But but when it was mitten, nigga, it was mitten as fuck.
It was mitten hard. Like you literally
It was mittens Romney, okay?
You literally couldn't see in front of you. I was like, God damn, we swimming. Like I said, when things like that happen, I can't be with everybody. I really am thankful it was me, you, and your mom.
Because it would have ruined a lot of people's night. And for us, it was like, fuck it. We're getting rained on. Whatever.
Yes, we had jokes.
We had such a good time. And then we got to the car, got home. Everybody's safe. So that's it. That was the concert. That was our concert story for the most part.
Yes.
Like I said, I have to wrap it up because I got something to do in 3 minutes here.
But we had a great time.
We had a great time. Anything that I missed, Karen, that you wanted to add before we leave? Okay, cool, man. That was it. If you guys wanted to know, that's our reaction. Go see it. If it's in your town, go see it if you can. It's probably too late if you ain't got tickets, but buy the tickets. Find a way, you know.
Go see it and know that it's probably gonna start close to on time. So come extra early so that you can be there to at least see DJ Mustard.
DJ Mustard's worth it. The whole thing is worth it.
Yes,
very professional, very well done. New respect for Sza. Same respect for Kendrick, and I really think you guys should go see it. All right, y'all. That's it. We gotta go. Till next time. I love you.
I love you too. Mwah.
Bye, everybody.